this country or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much great talent. As you said, there is even some American players that have started to learn, like Zamu, LSD, Ryobeat, and more coming down the lines. There's also guest coaches that come on from time to time. I know Yappy came on. There's great ones that are gonna come in the future. So, just like if you're interested in Melee, you really want to put your whole into it, and you want to progress fast and effectively. This is the best way to do it.
But I think we're jumping in now. I thought it was like warm-ups at first, but looking like Kins0 has taken this like pretty strong start from him.
Oh yeah, it just started for me. Oh.
Yeah.
They want to start, maybe.
Very nice. Very
Okay.
good. Yeah, Poilon is it's gonna be an uphill battle for him.
Yeah, because
Like-
Poilon is kind of like Fatino, very methodical, but I don't know if he's that used to a really like if he's used to such an aggressive and such a not aggressive but like pressure style.
What makes Tino feel very unique is that he actually can keep his cool under such intense pressure.
Exactly.
Which isn't, yeah, it's like Poilon, I'm sure, like against like lots of good Falcos can do that, but once you reach this tier, it becomes incredibly hard.
You can take 3 stocks off Leffen, but can he conquer Kins0 is the real question.
Yeah, but immediately he's kind of showing like, no, I can.
Yeah, I can hold my own. I'm not an old man. Never sleep on old school players. Is basically what you have to learn.
Absolutely. So, some of our best are very old school.
Yeah. All right, and yeah, Yoshi's story, which is it's a bit scary for Poilon because it's definitely Kins0's home.
Yeah. But in a way, like you can't kind of give that to it, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, it's a ditto. You're evenly matched on this stage. Like, if this is where you're comfortable, then you shouldn't assume he's more comfortable.
Yeah, you don't want to doubt yourself too much.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, and Poilon having a agile situation that unfortunately kind of flubs, but finds another one. That's gonna be yet another tech chase that unfortunately isn't gonna happen. Might be the end, not quite yet.
Yeah. This is there's not much life left in it now.
Really good back air, really good high back air from Kins0 catching that high side B. And it's gonna be 1-0. Really nice to see. I mean, Poilon getting so far in the tournament already.
Yeah.
He's gonna start facing the really hard players, of course, but just like what we're seeing right now with Kins0, one of the best in Europe. But he's still got some good life in him, playing and organizing tournaments and sponsoring players. And all right, FD. Interesting.
FD. That is interesting.
I don't think that's a great pick.
FD is like, you know, like the conventional wisdom is that if you are Spaceys and you go to FD and a Ditto, you're saying that my punish game is better.
Exactly.
And that's a strong statement to make against a player like Kins0.
Yeah, you gotta be really confident in yourself. So it's good to be confident, like Poilon is, but sometimes you gotta look at the facts.
Yes. And like, are you playing to your strengths? Okay, I think that's ultimately the question here is that I think Poilon's strengths will come in through a more nuanced neutral game.
Yes.
Yeah, more nuanced neutral game. He's got like, again, like Fatino, he's gonna be able to keep it a little more simple.
Yeah.
But I don't know if FD plays those strengths.
Yeah, I feel like maybe even an FOD could be interesting, a Dreamland, but I don't know, the lasers from Kins0 are going to be really annoying.
Which is where Tino went, he went Dreamland.
Yeah, and yeah, I think Poilon's strengths are definitely using, you know, things that we don't see much anymore, but unconventional stuff. Ending his combos a bit earlier, just like Tino did, but that can also be a mix-up at some point. If you condition it properly. But for the moment, he's not moving. He can't move. The pressure that Kins0 is applying is just too much.
It's so it's so strong.
So what you just see right now is like he got shined, even though he was in shield, because he either jumped or tried to do something out of shield, whereas Fat Tino here would have waited. He'd have been like, okay, you're starting your pressure, I'm just gonna wait for my opening. But Poilon, a bit too antsy in this situation.
There's no rush. There's no rush.
Yeah. Falco is scary, but at some point he's gonna run out of pressure. So he's either gonna try for a grab or something, but...
And simultaneously, like, some points there will be gaps in Kins0's pressure. Some points he will have slowed down a bit. Like, the more buttons you make him press, the more likely he is to make an error.
Yeah. Wait for,
and
like...
I think Tino plays that really well.
A high aerial on your shield, mistime shine, anything like that, and either you roll to be safe or you go for something else, but shine out of shield is an amazing tool in this instance. But we'll see what Poilon decides to do, because that's looking rough. Well, I'm not gonna lie. Kins0 has been playing extremely well. Just it feels like he didn't really have to adapt to anything.
Exactly, and it's good for him to have just come off playing against Tino, who is just kind of like a more like advanced version of Poilon style.
True. Okay, the Fox has come out. That's an interesting choice. I mean, why not if you feel like you can do something with Fox?
Yeah.
On FD though.
He likes FD.
He likes FD. He likes his FD.
Yeah.
Oh, the chain grabs though.
Which is yeah, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing with the character. So
I haven't seen his Fox in ever. I know he used to play Fox at some point. I mean, you know, a player that's been playing for so long, he's got a lot of characters, right? But I haven't seen his Fox in quite a while, so I don't know what it's looking like. If he's, you know, he's tried it a lot on, you know, unranked or whatever. But he's not unranked, that's for sure.
It's not ranked.
Ooh, just a bit early, I think.
Yeah, but it's so tough to keep up with these like new school, super quick, super aggro players.
It's really hard. You have to feel very confident in your defensive options.
Yeah.
Defensive options is what's really gonna throw them off. If you have an extremely good defense, they're not gonna be so used to, well, until some point at least. Ooh. That's the 2003.
Yeah, but there's a lot here that I think Poilon's doing really well, but it's just he's still playing to Kins0's strengths, which is the challenge here.
Yeah. Also, switching from one PC to the other in one match, in a really intense match like this, always really hard. They might seem similar, they're not. They're very different.
Yeah. I mean, switching characters is always going to be tough, right? Mid-game.
Especially ones with like different jump squats and stuff like this.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. That's a good point, actually. I'm curious to see like how many wave dashes are going to be effective here.
Well, he missed quite a bit of angles. You got this one, though. Yeah, he's trying to kind of bait Kins0 into coming to him with his like big nair retreating back. It's been working okay, but I think Kins0's already adapting.
Yeah, and like this was a pretty good showing, to be fair, from the Fox.
He didn't get destroyed, and it's still not over. But...
yeah, if he takes the stock, then I'll continue my sentence. But if not, then yeah, maybe I'll.
Yeah, don't jinx it.
Yeah, I'm never in that.
Yeah, it's commentator curse. That's fine. It happens. Damn. Well, good job to Poilon for. I'm thinking that was. Was that winners or losers?
I think that was winners. I don't think Kins0 would be in losers at this point. So yeah, to get to this point, you know,
it's quite a road.